Welcome to Cinecritic. I am your sanctimonious prick of a host, Phil J. Today we're going to be looking at Dune, the trailer, and just doing a breakdown / reaction to it. I'm a big fan of Dune from the original movie years ago. I think it was Dino De Laurentiis who directed that one, and ever since I've been sort of like, wow, that was pretty cool. And there were certain elements I liked, certain elements I didn't like, but when I heard that they were making another remake of it, because of course there was a series which I absolutely hated, and they were making another remake here, I was very skeptical, because there's a lot of expectations, I think, here, because there's a big fan base, big, cult following, if you will, and people are going to have expectations, and I don't think, to be honest, that they're going to meet them. It's a wild guess. I mean, I haven't watched it yet, but I'm guessing that they're not going to meet a lot of people's expectations. So as I go through this, I'll pause and just take stock, and we'll have a look at it. But let's get started.
There's something happening to me. There's something awakening in my mind. I can't control it.
What did you see?
Paul. There's a crusade coming.
Do you often dream things that happen just as you dreamed them?
Yes.
It's a bit young.
The test is simple. Remove your hand from the box, and you die.
What's in the box?
Pain.
Tom Jabbar.
You inherit too much
Just
power.
pause right there. That is a test of his humanity, essentially. If he takes his hand out, he can't control his fear. And if he keeps it in there, he's got control over his emotions, and that makes him sort of human, essentially. And she's a nasty bitch, to be perfectly blunt, but she gets her own sort of at the end. And that's Paul Atreides from the original, but I really think they might have cast this one a bit young, just starting off. So, but we've seen good things from certain young actors who've sort of come into their own. So I could be wrong, but I'm hoping the best, but I'm cautiously optimistic.
You have proven you can rule yourself. Now you must learn to rule others. Something none of your ancestors learned.
My father rules an entire planet.
He's losing it.
He's getting a richer one.
He'll lose that one too. Arrakis is a death trap.
Kill them. This is an extermination. They're picking my family off one by one.
Let's fight like demons.
An animal caught in a trap will gnaw off its own leg to escape. What will you do?
Shit in the corner.
I know you.
No movie or television is complete without the whole boy meets girl.
One day, the legend will be born. All of civilization depends on it.
The future. I can see it. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer.
My Lord Duke. Go, go, go!
Fucking run!
Run! Run!
Man, if anything can make you run, it'd be that coming at you. Holy shit. Damn. Okay, I'll stop right there. Okay, so, I don't know what to think, to be honest. I don't really have a final verdict because I haven't seen anything, so it's just more of a teaser, really. But you may have not noticed, but during the clip, the guy who plays Paul Atreides, he's not really extending any big range, and maybe that was the directing style. They sort of said, look, you need to be sort of stoic and sort of unemotional because you've got control of your emotions and things like that. But it seems like he's acting the same way in every scene, and that's sort of, it's less acting, more monochromatic, and I don't know if that's going to work or not, but wait and see more. There are a few things through there that I noticed are a bit cheesy, like when those guys are coming down and stuff. You can tell they're on lines and stuff. I don't know if that's supposed to be jetpacks or what, but yeah, it was a little bit lame. It looks silly. I didn't see any of the those weapons from the originals where they use sound. So it might have actually been in there and I just didn't notice it, but that was one of the key things from the original movies and stuff that doesn't seem to have been there. A lot of the same old characters are there, and I love the design of the worm. That looks awesome because compared to the original, it's a little more gritty and all those sort of inward pointing hairs, kind of ominous and ooh, please don't eat me. But it's got, like I said, it's got potential. Will I watch it? Maybe. It depends. I've got pretty high expectations from the original. Like, you may have seen in the original movies, and they did this to capture the book as best they could. They had a lot of internal thinking of the character, so they filmed the person just sort of staring away, and they were obviously narrating what they were thinking, and that was just to get you in the mind of the character, and it was quite well done. But also it's very time consuming because every shot you got to stop and they're just going like this for while they narrate. So they probably won't do that in this one because they want to keep it action packed and things like that, and less about what's happening internally and more let's get on to the next scene. And that can totally screw it all up. So I don't know, but we'll just go on to some points here that I noticed. So first off, we've got Paul Atreides' main squeeze, Chani, who's being played by the looks of it by the same actress who's from the Spider-Man movies of late, and I actually like her acting style. It's actually pretty cool. Can she pull off a Chani in this? We'll find out. But she's actually pretty good, so I'm pretty confident she can pull off. Then we've got this guy who you see a couple of times through the trailer. I think and obviously he's the actor from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Almost the same makeup, just not blue. So it sort of gives him away, but I think he's playing Raban, not Fade. Fade's a little more, I'd say, skinnier, and he's way more deadlier. But he looks big and bulky like the original 1984 movie Raban. So I think he's played Raban, and yeah, he's a sadistic sort of guy who goes around doing all the bidding of the Baron, and you do get to see the Baron a couple times through the clip. One, I think it's him coming up out of that goo, and there's also this time where he's saying "kill them all" sort of thing, where it turns they're kind of hiding him away a bit, and I like that sort of mystery that they're keeping there. You don't really know who he is, who's sort of playing him at this point, and they're keeping everything really close to the chest, which I like. Don't give too much away in a trailer, otherwise there's no mystery. We know exactly what to expect. So I'm liking the ships and everything. They're really big and bulky, just like the story itself and things like that. And the still suits, they're okay. They don't look as gritty as the original, but all they are is a survival suit, so you can survive in the desert without, if you run out of water, they sort of recycle your urine and take in the moisture from your breathing. It's a pretty iconic suit that you have in this. You'll see it through most of the movie when they get to Arrakis, which is Dune, the planet. And I'm loving the worm. Obviously, worms are awesome. If you've seen the original, they're the best part of the whole fucking movie. You know, everyone's like, "Whoa, that's huge!" And you know, and later, and spoiler alert, Paul basically commands them with his telekinetic power or something, and basically rides one. He befriends the Fremen who ride them, believe it or not. Which I can't wait to see how they do it with these. It looks pretty cool, but it's a very big, complex lore that they're trying to map into a single movie. If you've seen the series, you can see how convoluted it can get and how messy and how many mistakes you can make in the cinema when you take something from a book to a different media. So they can make a lot of mistakes, and they definitely won't please everybody who's read the books and have got all this, you know, the mentats, and you've got the different species, and then you've got the emperor, and it's a lot of lore to go through, and then there was a scene here where you see the bloody handprint on the shoulder of, I think that was Leto. That looks to me like a hint to the Fader key, which is another element of the story. It's a lot going on, and if you miss it, you wouldn't even know. I'm cautiously optimistic. Will I watch it? Probably. Yeah. Probably. Despite the fact that I think they've casted a bit young for Chani and Paul, I still think they could make that work, and it's nice to refresh it and reboot it with young blood. The one thing I didn't like about the original 1984 was the heavy religious side of it, but that was actually how it was written by the writers. So I'm hoping they stay away from that, because that whole God thing and how Paul's essentially a demigod, essentially, and then the books get even worse and more religious. It's a bit of a drag. You know, it takes you away from the science fiction fantasy of it all, and it's not as fun. How many people really want to go to church on a Sunday morning? It's essentially what I'm getting at. So I hope they sort of park that away or downplay it. Because what I'm saying, you didn't really see much religious side of it. There is the Reverend Mother in there, who you saw her pointing the needle, which is called the Gom Jabbar, at his neck, and that has a poison on it that'll kill him instantly if he takes his hand out of the box. But she is part of this order that is looking for the Kwisatz Haderach. I hope I pronounced that right. Which is like the supreme being that they've been trying to genetically engineer for like hundreds or thousands of years, and he's probably it, is what they're thinking, and that's what they're testing him. And later in the movie, spoiler alert, yeah, it turns out he is the supreme being, and he can make it rain just by thinking about it. It's a bit wonky, but it's got some great elements to it. But there's that. I'm hoping that they sort of shy away from and park it aside. One thing I am really looking forward to is seeing the guild. The guild are the people who sort of police or monitor interstellar space travel. So if you want to get from one place to another without spending hundreds of thousands or millions of years traveling, you know, just below the speed of light, they can get you there in an instant with spice, which is from the planet Arrakis, Dune, which is why it's so important. And whoever controls Dune controls all space travel. Essentially, that's it. And so there's that. I really want to see the guild, because they've got the guild navigators, and they're some creepy looking thing. In the book, you basically get told that no one has ever seen them, and we still get to see them in the movie. And will we get to see them in this, or will they stay true to the book, where we don't get to see them at all? Because in the movie it was a creepy looking thing, but it was really cool, the design of it. So I'll be really keen to see what they come up with here. But otherwise, I'm quite optimistic, cautiously optimistic. I'm not sure about the young blood. I'm happy to see that Jason's in it, as well as a few other notable actors that I like. So waiting to see more as it comes out. But tell me what you guys think. Comment here. I'll see you there. In the meantime, that's it from this guy. Catch you on the flip side.